Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. In the headlines, Labour makes good its threats to picket NARC and DISCO offices over electricity tariff hike. Shop owners in Enugu count their losses as demolition continues. Search and rescue operations continue after floods kill 43 in Indonesia. And in sports, Finidi George makes key appointments as he is formally unveiled as Super Eagles coach. Details in a moment. The country's organized labor is still at daggers drawn with the federal government over the recent hike in electricity tariff, which has further impacted the cost of goods and services in the country. The Nigerian Labour Congress had, in a circular to all state councils of the Congress, directed the workers to embark on picketing of offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and the electricity distribution companies in their states. Correspondent Clayton Ume tells us how it went in Enugu.
The Nigeria Labour Congress on Monday morning made good its threats to embark on the picketing of offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and offices of all the distribution companies in the country to protest the recent hike in electricity tariff in the country. In Enugu, the exercise, which was jointly carried out by the NLC and the Trade Union Congress, took the workers to the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company headquarters at Okpara Avenue, as well as the NERC office, in line with the directives from the National Central Working Committee of the NLC. NLC Enugu State Chairman Fabian Wibo, who led the exercise, said Nigerian workers cannot bear the heavy burden brought about by the tariff hike, saying the picketing of NERC and EEDC offices would continue nationwide until further notice. At the EEDC office in Enugu, the organized labor stormed the gates to register their grievance over what it described as sharp practices by the EEDC and its officials, as well as NERC, which he said has brought untold hardship for workers and businesses. The TUC chairman, Ben Asogwa, said that tariff increase was never the solution to Nigeria's problem, stressing that Nigerians were currently faced with challenges of fuel subsidy removal and high cost of living, and advised NERC and EEDC to stop the exploitation and reverse the tariff hike.
You told us that you would divert the money for fuel subsidy, the government told us, to other things that will benefit Nigerians. Is tariff increase a benefit to Nigerians? No! Is tariff increase a benefit to Nigerians? No! Enough is enough. Yes. What we want from both NEC and EEDC is that you must reverse to the status quo. Sure. Go back to that point where you have been exploiting us. Sure. We even know that one we paid before now was still exploitation. We can tolerate that one, but not for further increase. That's what we are telling you today.
Members of NLC and TUC who chanted grievance songs in front of the EEDC gate explained that the hike in tariff and epileptic power supply must come to an end as the country was faced with enormous challenges. The picketing continues on Tuesday nationwide. I am Clinton Okolo for Signature TV.
A similar exercise was carried out in other parts of the country, with the NLC President Joe Ajero leading members of the labor unions to protest at the Abuja headquarters of the NERC. As early as 7 a.m. on Monday, Ajero led hundreds of workers to the office calling for an immediate reversal of the electricity tariff hike. Elsewhere in Kaduna, the labor unions blocked the main gate of the distribution company located in the state capital amidst tight security. Staff of the company were prevented from going into the premises as the protesting union members demand for the reversal of the tariff hike. In Kwara State, the union members blocked the entrance of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company in the state capital, Ilorin. Similarly, in Akure, the Ondo State capital, some members of the TUC shut the head of office of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC. They gathered at the front of the company's office protesting the electricity tariff hike. Reports from Jos say members of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Plateau and the Trade Union Congress on Monday blocked the entrance of the headquarters of Jos Electricity Distribution Company. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission offices located at the Gold and Base axis in Jos were also picketed by the union members, leaving their workers stranded. The state chairman of the NLC, Eugene Magaji, who led the union members, said their action was in compliance with the directive of the National Secretariat aimed at forcing the authorities to reverse the recent hike in the country's electricity tariff. The NLC and its TUC counterpart had earlier given the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, till May 12th to withdraw the recent hike in electricity tariff or face unprecedented industrial action. Operators and owners of some commercial banks, transport companies, and other businesses operating within the Holy Ghost and Ogbete main market areas of Enugu are now counting their losses. That's the price they have to pay to enable the Enugu state government carry out its planned construction of a modern transport interchange in the area. Signature TV news correspondent Chinemerem Ikebunam captured the sights and sounds as bulldozers reduced the once sprawling business area to rubbles.
The Enugu state government says it is thinking big for the development of the state. It wants to grow the economy of the state from a 4 billion naira to about 30 billion naira economy. Among the projects designed to achieve this quantum leap is the proposed Enugu Modern Transport Interchange at the Holy Ghost area and other locations in the state. The state government says the project will lessen the perennial traffic congestion, preserve road assets, and optimize transport efficiency. It is to make way for this project that these bulldozers are at work. The project is, however, coming at a huge cost, pain, and devastation to existing businesses.
Go and see about five caterpillars are there, destroying buildings, destroying everything that they are destroying.
A manager in one of the transport companies operating in the area decries the demolition exercise.
They are just here destroying people's property. Say they have paid us, they haven't paid us.
The business owners maintain that government has not been fair in its dealing with the business operators and owners.
We are all businessmen. When you give somebody notice, it means that the person will go outside and look for another alternative, look for another accommodation for him to relocate. But they didn't give us accommodation. They didn't give us a place to stay. No compensation at all.
But they never even pay anybody compensation, like Okesing Group of Company. They never pay us anything from railway because we are the tenant of railway, not tenant of Enugu State government.
Others also lament their ordeal.
We are vacating here. There was no pre-information in regards to this. All we know is that there is ongoing court case concerning this particular properties, but we never knew that it's going to be something that will just wake up one morning without giving us any information, even if it's 1 week.
Why not questioning the right of the Enugu state government to carry out its development master plan? The question remains whether enough cushion has been provided for those being dislocated to carry on with their lives at this period of excruciating economic challenges. But the Enugu State Commissioner for Transport, Obiora Ozo, justifies the government's action, insisting that enough consultation was carried out before the demolition exercise.
Notice we are given on the 13th of October 2023. We don't have any court case with anybody because the owners of the land are Nigerian Railway. So it's the landlord that the state discussed with, and the landlord has notified all their tenants and those that they've reached agreement with Enugu state government. And the landlord is the person that tells the government who their real tenants are. And is their legal tenants that they are obligated to compensate. And that is the people that government provides money for.
As the action continues and more structures built to go down in the coming days, the plea of many is that government shows a human face in the entire exercise by providing alternative locations and startup capitals for those being dislocated. In Enugu, I am Chinemerem Ikebunam for Signature TV News.
Federal government set to restructure the National Youth Service Corps scheme. This and more when we return. The Enugu State government has imposed a fine of 50,000 naira for indiscriminate dumping of refuse in the state. An official government statement disclosed that a special sanitation task force will patrol the state starting from Monday, May 13, 2024, to arrest offenders. The measure is to ensure a clean and hygienic environment as well as promote healthy living. The statement also warned that those in the habit of throwing or dumping refuse from moving vehicles in waterways or on roads or in marketplaces to desist from such practices immediately or face the consequences. It urged residents to inform families, children, and neighbors that dispose waste early in the morning, that all wastes must be bagged using SWAMA approved bin bags and disposed properly. Government also warned that all sorting by recycling companies should move to the landfill at Ugoyama, as anyone caught sorting plastics and other materials from waste dumps in any part of the city will be arrested and made to face the law. A new commissioner of police, Obono Nage Itam, on Monday assumed office as the 34th commissioner of police in the state following his redeployment by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ogbetoku. This followed the statutory retirement of the former commissioner, Aderemi Adeoye, on the 1st of May 2024. According to a release signed by the police public relations officer in the state, Tochukwu Ikenga, Obono Itam, before his posting, was Commissioner of Police in charge of General Investigation, Force Criminal Investigation, Annex, Kaduna. Born on the 16th of June 1967 in Yakuru local government area of Cross River State, he joined the Nigerian Police Force on 18th of May 1992 as a cadet assistant superintendent at the Nigerian Police Academy, Annex, Kaduna, and holds a BSc in Sociology and Anthropology from the University of Calabar and a master's degree in International Relations from the University of Port Harcourt. President Bola Tinubu on Monday vowed to do everything possible towards ending gender-based violence and increasing learning opportunities for girls in safe and conducive environments. The president made the vow while speaking at the launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for the Development of Gender Equality held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He said African countries must continue to create opportunities for all children to access quality education without leaving anyone behind, particularly the girl child. He commended the African First Ladies for their commitments to advancing gender equality and narrowing the gender gap in opportunities and appointments across Africa. The president also praised his wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the First Lady of Nigeria, for her efforts in championing education as a primary tool to advance gender equality. The federal government says it will embark on a comprehensive reform and restructuring of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, to meet the demand of the future. Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Ibrahim, stated this at the opening ceremony of the meeting of the NYSC management with heads of core producing institutions in Nigeria held at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja on Monday. Ibrahim said the reforms will be centered on reviewing participants with an entrepreneurship mindset and making skills development a core of the program to make it a revenue-generating program in the next 5 years. The minister announced that as part of the Nigerian Youth Service Fund program for 2024, at least 5,000 core members will have their entrepreneurial ventures funded with up to 10 million naira during their passing out. Search and rescue operations underway after floods kill 43 in Indonesia, and in sports, Finidi names assistance after he was formally unveiled in Abuja. Join us after the break. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, says it was exciting to discover her Nigerian heritage, which she immediately shared with her mother. Meghan paid tribute to Nigerian women, saying the discovery of her heritage was eye-opening and humbling. She made the remarks as she joined the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to host a women's leadership event in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Meghan and her husband, Prince Harry, are on their first trip to Africa's most populous nation, which was prompted by links forged through the Invictus Games, an international sporting event started a decade ago by the Duke for military personnel wounded in action. Flash floods have caused mass casualties and widespread devastation in northern Afghanistan as more than 300 people lost their lives and over 1,600 others were injured in the disaster. Authorities say on Sunday that many individuals remain unaccounted for after the powerful torrents of water and mud swept across villages and agricultural areas in the provinces of Beglan, Tekka, Badakhshan and Ghor. This has resulted in a significant humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, a country that is already grappling with the aftermath of several earthquakes earlier this year and severe flooding in March. Baglan province was one of the hardest hit areas, with more than 300 locals killed, thousands of houses destroyed or damaged in the floods, going by reports from the World Food Programme. Local authorities say the relief efforts were being made to meet the needs of the affected population and called for international help, saying thousands of homes have been damaged and livestock washed away or killed. Rescuers on Monday searched for missing people after flash floods and mudslides killed at least 43 in Indonesia's West Sumatra province. Torrential rain on Saturday triggered flash floods, landslides, and cold lava flow, which is a mixture of volcanic ash, rock debris, and water that flows like mud in 3 districts in West Sumatra province. The National Disaster and Management Agency, BNPB, said in a statement that almost 200 houses were damaged and 72 hectares of land, including rice fields, were affected. The agency disclosed that at least 159 people from Agam district have been evacuated to nearby school buildings. Former Nigerian international Finidi George was on Monday officially unveiled as the head coach of the Nigerian senior men national team, Super Eagles, by the Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. The Super Eagles coach has also picked his former national teammates Daniel Amokachi and 2 foreigners as his assistants. Finidi made the announcement after he was officially unveiled to the press as the new coach in Abuja. He also retained Olatunji Baroa as the goalkeeper's trainer. Baroa occupied the same position under Jose Pesairo, while the names of the 2 foreign assistants would be revealed before the Super Eagles 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying fixtures against Bafana Bafana of South Africa and Squirrels of Benin. The 53-year-old former Ajax star, who officially left his post as Ayimba head coach on Sunday to concentrate on his new job, said his immediate target is to win the next 2 qualifying matches against South Africa and Benin Republic. And that's it for Signature TV News this hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.